E3 is next week. As Reiner mentioned earlier, there's a lot of buzz building. People are starting to lose their minds about exactly what's going to be there. We should go through some of these rumors, some of these predictions. We have a big countdown on the site, kind of going down the big three and other predictions, and just talking about exactly what we think is going to be at the show and how this whole thing is going to work. To kick things off, we should get to an email from Chad from Chicago just to set the table here. He says, "Hey, GI crew, each year GameInformer.com seems to put out E3 predictions. However, as industry insiders, you must be privy to a lot of embargoed and confidential information to be revealed to the general public at the press conferences. Since all the good big news is likely either embargoed or unsubstantiated rumors, do your predictions come down to a safe breakdown of things that have already been partially revealed, watered down predictions to avoid any potential conflict with embargoes, or some type of firewall between editors that know confidential information and those writing the prediction articles?" This is a very good question from Chad. Take it away, Reiner.
Yeah, so just to put that into perspective, I was yesterday I did a podcast with someone that works for Sony, is a Sony employee, a PlayStation employee, has no idea what's going to be at the press conference. Like, they really keep this under lock and key, and it seems like they try to tighten it up more and more each year. So the big surprises, they want to be big surprises. They try to limit it as much as they can between the developers, the hardware manufacturers, and internal employees. We sometimes hear about stuff, stuff under embargo, all that. Obviously, we're not going to talk about any of that stuff, right? But there is so much more out there. I would say 99% of it,
totally,
we're still guessing. Right?
Yeah, it's a very much a tip of the iceberg thing where you are planning appointments and it's like, oh, looks like this thing might be there. Some exciting stuff in there, but it's not like we know what the hell these press conferences are going to be like, or a crazy majority of the stuff that's going to be there.
Yeah, it's all us just kind of looking at what's out there, what the developers have done before, the kind of their what's worked, what hasn't, and then making our best assumptions based on that.
Haven't seen a God of War in a while. Might be kind of time for that.
That's the thing. Because I posted in the Overblood Facebook group asking hey, what are you guys expecting from E3? Or I think I said what are the big studios that have been quiet for a while that you expect to hear something from? Which is my favorite question, is just to look across the industry and be like, who has been too quiet? And a lot of the guesses, it was stuff that was too recent, where people would be like, oh, Naughty Dog's next game, or all these other studios that just put out something. But I realized the secret is just look at our top 50 games from 2013, 2014, and then see what those studios have been up to. And it's oh, I haven't heard from them in a while. I bet they're up to bat. Because if you put that 3 to 4 year span around there, that's where the money is, kid.
That's where the money is. So did you go back? Did you go back and look at that list then?
No, but just thinking about it. You think about the big 2013 games, the big one. I feel like maybe the biggest studio relatively that has also been quiet the longest is Warner Brothers Montreal.
One of them, yeah.
WB built up this entire studio. They're working on some Lego Chima stuff a little bit.
They did some DLC for
Arkham Knight.
Yeah.
So that was a fraction of the team, because they also did Arkham Origins. But there were a lot of people up there, and they've probably been working on something. Reiner, I remember when you beat Arkham Origins, you're like, it's going to be the Suicide Squad.
Yeah, and it seems to line up with the movie. But now that they announced Injustice 2, which is a very different game, you would imagine Suicide Squad would probably be like Arkham Knight, right? With multiple playable characters.
Right, yeah.
But will they double up on DC properties at E3? I would say probably not.
Really? So you think Suicide Squad won't be there now because
now that
NetherRealm
Injustice has been announced, I'm guessing probably not.
Interesting.
You think
Why not save that for another show for a reveal? I mean, we're in con season. There's cons every month.
And why do you think it's a Suicide Squad game and not a Superman game?
Because the game ended with Slade Wilson. Spoiler, Arkham Origins. The game ended with Slade Wilson, who's Deathstroke, part of the Suicide Squad, in jail, and then Waller comes in, basically says, hey, we're forming a team.
You say why don't they save it for something else? But you also mentioned the movie. I mean, there's never going to be more buzz for Suicide Squad than right now. But is it just getting to that weird thing of, well, it's not based on the movie, so how much would it really be able to capitalize on it?
Yep, yeah, and maybe they don't want to kind of mix those signals if it is its own universe. So maybe a Comic-Con reveal, that might make more sense to me.
Oh, interesting.
If it is a 2017 game. If it's 2016, you got to go now. We're running out of months, right?
Let's do it. So, yeah.
So I'm guessing that Injustice is the game they will have, and we're still not going to hear anything from Warner now. I know we just put it in our bold predictions that it'd be there, but now that that's out there, probably not.
What do you guys think? What are the other big studios that you haven't heard from in a while and that they're about due?
Well, I mean, they already released an image purportedly from it, but I've been wondering for a long time what Capcom Vancouver's been up to.
Yeah.
At Dead Rising studio.
Dead Rising 3, I mean, I guess that was the launch of the Xbox One. It doesn't feel that long ago, but that's a quick turnaround because it was leaked. Dead Rising 4 seems to be on the way.
And it's like a reboot or going back to square one at least.
Do you think so? From
Frank
that one
and-
leaked screenshot?
Yeah,
Frank
isn't
in
it?
Willamette, Colorado.
Yeah, Frank in the original city again. So
Is that what it is? Is that what that screenshot
that's
was
what
showing?
people are saying. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I think that was leaked info with it. So
That could be
be
interesting.
crazy.
Would you want a reboot?
no,
I think at this point, it's not like Mirror's Edge 2 reboot. I mean, like, there's been enough stuff where you could, like, think, oh, let's just tell the story in a little slightly different way. I'd be fine with it because I think ultimately that's just a game about.
What if it was
killing a
like
bunch of
Frank
zombies.
10 years later, he returns to the city?
Yeah,
see, that's
That'd
awesome.
be fine too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's cool.
It could be interesting. It'd be fun to go
called-
back to that mall.
All the mannequins are broken and you can't use them to beat things up anymore.
Well, it might go out to the rest of the city, though, too. It might not just be the mall.
And it's
Yeah.
called Dead Rising 4, at least on that pamphlet that we saw. So it better be a sequel of some kind.
Dead Rising Forever. Just to keep going down these quiet studios, a lot of people, and I'm amazed, maybe I just am not in touch with the fan base, but so many people are curious about Sony Bend. Are they in Oregon? Is that right? It must
Yep.
be.
Yep.
But there was a leaked trademark of a game called Dead Don't Ride. A lot of people are connecting to them. But they have been quiet for quite a while. And so in theory, we could hear from them at the show.
Yeah, they did Uncharted on Vita,
Yeah.
Siphon Filter games before that.
Secret Agent Clank was them?
Maybe
them?
Bubsy 3D, I think.
Cream of the crop.
Classic.
No, clearly there's a lot of developers doing something there, and people are chomping at the bit. Champing at the bit. Sorry, Jeff Cork, to figure out what the hell's going on there. Another one that's been quiet for a shocking amount of time when you look into it, that Game Company. Think about it. Like, I would imagine my prediction will be some sort of PSVR based game, but Genova Chen, the creative director for Journey, he's still there, but Journey was 2013.
A lot of people
2012?
left that studio, right?
A couple people did,
But
yeah.
there's still people there. I was
They went
kind
and
of
did
curious.
Abzu, right? One of the guys.
right. One of the
Yeah.
people
I
that
was
left.
like, are they even still around? That's how old they or how long they haven't been doing anything. I guess.
Yeah. Does somebody want to put money down on
I think that's
PSVR for that Game Company?
I think you're totally right. I think that's
that's
probably
has to
where
be.
they end up.
Oh, thanks,
good option.
everybody. My God, this feels
good
good.
option.
Another one that people were talking about a lot is Retro. Ever since Tropical Freeze, the last Donkey Kong game, they've been quiet. I would imagine the big Nintendo studios like that and, the Tokyo Mario developers, they're going to save all that for NX, I would imagine.
It would be stupid not to.
That's the only thing is like I Nintendo could surprise us, but I kind of wonder if Nintendo's not even going to do much.
Well, I mean, they've said they're
They
showing
have said
Zelda
that.
and they're
I
doing
mean,
some live streams.
They could be tricking us, but
I don't think they are.
This could be two different conversations too. Like just because a studio has been quiet does not mean they are going to start blabbing at E3. Like especially
Exactly.
like on Nintendo's end, they've been very clear about what to expect from them from E3. So
that's why I'm thinking Retro might not. We might not see something from them, even though they are undoubtedly working on something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another one that someone posted in the Overblood group that I forgot about, but a couple years ago at E3, remember when they showed the remnants of Criterion's racing game? Where it was like, hey, race in a hang glider, race in this car,
that's
race
right, yeah.
these Matchbox
Oh my
cars,
gosh,
race
yeah.
everything under the sun, race your eyebrows against each other. And we just haven't heard anything from them. So maybe that'll be a big showing, is finding out what the hell that weird development video was all
that
about.
2 years ago now?
I think so, yeah. I think it was 2 years ago because that was also like the Battlefront teaser year. Yeah. Speaking of Battlefront, what do you guys think about Star Wars? Are we going to see Amy Hennig's game there?
I would love to
Yes.
see that. That would be amazing.
I think we're going to see a teaser for that and another Star Wars game.
Battlefront 2 that has been
Star
rumbling
Wars?
around?
I think we're going to see Battlefront DLC.
Okay.
I think we're going to see a teaser for Hennig's, and I think we're going to see a teaser for something else.
So you don't think we can get multiple DC games, but multiple Star Wars games is definitely a go?
Yeah, I
keep
definitely think.
milking
But
that
I
cow.
think we're where your Suicide Squad is like kind of double dipping with the movie, and then also in Injustice because you got Harley Quinn on all three of these. I think these are going to be three very distinct things.
Yeah. I think don't think EA is going to open up their press conference with like a crazy demo of the Amy Hennig visceral game, but I think it's going to be on the scale of that Battlefront teaser from a couple of years ago, where it's just a snowspeeder crashing.
Yeah, I think like 15, 20 seconds.
Yeah.
What is this thing?
When they've already said-
no name even.
They've said no Mass Effect, right?
No, Mass Effect will be there.
Oh, God, I didn't even think about
Yeah,
that.
there's
I thought they
Aaron
said that.
Flynn, the studio or general manager of BioWare. There's a note up on BioWare's website. He says, "I'll see you at EA Play."
Oh, okay.
Oh, cool.
Well, it'd be cool if we got Mass Effect and Star Wars. That'd be awesome, actually.
Or that new IP that BioWare is working on, where they showed a hut in the woods, little space hut.
Yeah, is that still going with Casey Hudson gone though?
That's also a question. That's in my Microsoft predictions, by the way. I bet Casey Hudson takes a stage to announce not it's some general new IP, but just to connect the goodwill associated with Casey Hudson and Mass Effect to some sort of new Microsoft brand. That'll be my Microsoft prediction. Going down other studios that have been quiet for a while, there's this little game in this little studio from Rockstar. Do we expect Rockstar to make any
That
sort
Mark
of entrance?
Wahlberg movie?
Yeah, that's right.
right.
The energy drink?
Telltale's
That was
Rockstar.
one of the first companies I thought of when you asked.
Yeah.
And I was like, but we probably won't be there.
They normally aren't there. Last year, they were there on the Sony stage, I think, to announce like a bundle and talk about GTA 5 a little bit on next gen. They normally aren't there, but man, some of those studios, San Diego specifically, the Red Dead studio has been quiet for so long.
Well,
know.
there's the Red Dead reboot, or not reboot, but remake rumors, aren't there?
Remake.
That they were going to
We have a remaster in our bold predictions on the site. We're
Oh,
saying
is that
maybe
what
that
it
was
is?
just us.
there might be a Red Dead
Yeah.
remaster.
Which I could see that, but I'd
Finally come out on PC. That'd be great.
I'd prefer if they announced the new Red Dead, obviously.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
But we're all thinking no Rockstar. Put
I
money
think it's
down?
a long shot, I think.
I'm
Okay.
guessing
I would love it.
If we do, I think the remaster is probably the best shot, but then maybe one of those long forgotten Grand Theft Auto 5 story missions.
Oh yeah.
The DLC that was announced, they talked about, and then it's just kind of disappeared.
Well, it seems like they are making so much bank off GTA Online. They're still updating the hell out of that thing, and in the whole Leslie Benz, lawsuit, all the numbers that came out of that thing. It's like, well, GTA Online seems to be making so much money. Would a new chapter starring one of those guys really even be worth it financially? But
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know.
We'll see.
A lot of people also were talking about Borderlands 3. It's about time for Borderlands 3.
They just started work on it.
Yeah, that's the thing. They announced that they're working on it. But Battleborn just came out. I don't think 2K is ready to start pushing this thing marketing-wise yet, unless, I don't know, Sony or Microsoft really wants to champion and get that name out
Right.
there. But
Unless somebody else was doing pre-production work, which would be weird.
maybe the Australia studio, maybe they're collaborating more than we realize.
Could be. Yeah.
They made the pre-sequel. What do you guys think about Resident Evil?
It'll be there. Yeah.
You think
The new
7's going to
one?
be there?
Yeah, I think 7 will be there.
Oh my gosh, that'd be great. I was hoping that just the remake of 2 would be there.
I'm sure it will. And then that and Umbrella Corps, you think like,
And Dead Rising.
The only
Yeah,
thing
well,
is, like,
yeah.
wasn't it just a year ago that they announced that they actually were going to do it, the remake of 2?
yeah,
So I just feel like maybe that's still not quite enough time, but
could be. And you look at like at least the director of Resident Evil 6, which is from 2012, like he hasn't been doing anything since. They're clearly that crazy development team that put a lot of work into 6.
Yeah.
They've been doing something. I just don't know if they want to hold off on that until they get the remake and Umbrella Corps out the door, just marketing
They
wise.
could.
It's going to be confusing. But
we talk about doubling up, but it's been so long from that team.
it's been a long time.
And I'm going to guess Dead Rising 4 will be an Xbox exclusive again.
yeah. Okay.
That'll be at Microsoft's. That'll be one of
Yeah,
the big
sure.
games for Microsoft.
You just think they had a good time with Microsoft last time?
I think, yeah, Microsoft probably ponied up for it. And
Well, that kind of
There's
game is only possible through the power of the cloud processing.
Cloud processing.
Cloud processing.
So let's see. We got David Lewis who writes in from New York saying, I usually get extremely excited about E3 season, but for some reason I feel pretty pessimistic about it. It feels like there's an overall lack of potential surprise. I'm curious to see Zelda, but I don't need a 90-minute demo to sell me on a game I already want. Most of Sony's big fall 2016 games are now 2017. Microsoft has potential with Gears and Recore, but I don't have an Xbox One, so it's not like I can play those anyway. Do you think that there could be any big surprises this year?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, he's saying
they're
there's a lack
surprised,
of
so we don't know what they
surprise.
are.
What is-
I mean, all it takes is like Ken Levine walking out on like PlayStation stage.
Do you think it's going to
Tripping.
happen? He's going to announce that weird project you talked about on this podcast?
Yeah, he's been going at that for what, 2 years?
It's been a while. 3 years, yeah.
It does seem like it takes a while to really gestate a project, but
9 months, I'd argue, somewhere around there.
Or I mean, Gabe Newell coming out on stage and people just
That'd be
losing their
amazing.
minds.
Well, that would be the biggie. Does anybody want to put money down?
no, I don't want to
Are
put
you
down,
like
but-
insinuating Half-Life 3? Is that what's going on here?
No, it's just some sort of Valve something.
What if?
A new controller.
Left 4 Dead 3.
This is something one of my friends brought up yesterday. Is what if Microsoft's new machine, codenamed Scorpio,
Right.
which I don't know why it's called that because they always name things after cities. Like the Slim code name is Montreal, supposedly.
I thought I heard Edmonton.
Or Edmonton, one of those two. Yeah.
Okay.
But Canada. But what if that system was designed to run with a partnership with Valve and run Steam?
There's no way they would do that.
Microsoft got rid of their store and put everything on Steam, so it's on PC, and they've already made the
way.
commitment
They're
to
trying to
PC.
crush out Steam. There's no way.
That's what I said to him, but then I started thinking about it more and more, and I was like, Steam Machine, that was kind of their play. That kind of failed. Microsoft now going into PC.
You're
What
nuts.
if they...
You're nuts.
Microsoft now going into PC? What are you talking about?
They're
That's
games.
insane. Microsoft finally getting into PC.
One of the biggest debates of the last 2 months has been Quantum Break's on PC.
Right,
Why did I buy an Xbox? Why are all these games coming to PC?
Microsoft makes
It's
Windows.
been
You
one of the
realize
biggest
this, right?
debates for the last 3 months.
There's no way. There's no
But
way
anyway,
Microsoft and Valve.
That
think
is
that's
one of the
insane.
things. But I was like, that would be huge. But yeah, there's no chance of that. But there is. When
But
Gabe comes
imagine.
out on stage, you're always like, oh God, what is happening here?
Yeah.
Like, what
It's
are they
true.
going to do?
It could
Like,
be crazy.
Could it be Half-Life 3?
I
Could
think
it be
it'd be-
Portal? Could it be Left 4 Dead?
I think it'd be Left 4 Dead before anything.
I just want to see Matt Stone and Trey Parker walk on stage again.
And they probably will because they're
that'll be
showing
fun.
the new
You're
South
right.
Park RPG
Which
they're
they
super
announced last
excited
year.
about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the point where you hear every Ubisoft executive just hold their breath.
Yeah.
Like,
Hello?
please don't say anything dumb.
Yep.
Hello, Game Informers, says Scott Devine. Is there a Sonic Adventure 3? Is Super Charizard, Super Mewtwo, and Super Lucario homage to Dragon Ball Z set to debut in Pokemon Sun and Moon, including Charla, a female Charizard with a pink bow? I think the answer is yes, Scott. Let's see. We got Darren from Stillwater who writes in. He says, I've got 3 bold predictions for you guys and girls. Let's break these down, Mr. Stillwater.
Where's the girls?
You'll see. New Assassin's Creed announced for early 2017 and will basically be a movie tie-in game.
No.
New Dead Space revealed that is a reboot for the series.
No.
We will get the official name for the NX, which will be called the Nintendo Game System.
He's not doing super well.
Yeah, it's. I think you struck out there. 3 for 3. I'm saying no way to all 3 of those.
Can't win if you don't play, though. So thank you for that.
Yes,
You know the kind of
absolutely.
sad thing about
Jeff Cork?
but Dead Space and EA is like they keep putting all their developers on Star Wars projects now. It's like, what is it? That Toronto studio now, Visceral, DICE, BioWare. Like it's,
Well,
I mean,
yeah.
yes, they're going to make you bank. You know, that's a safe bet to make Star Wars games. But at the same time, it's like all these properties that they maybe were working on before or chances for new IP are being consumed by Star Wars.
Yeah,
And I
where's
think
the BioWare Austin Shadow Realms? Let's get that going again.
Star Wars is great, but I mean, creatively, that limits you to what you can do. You can't have full-on dismemberment and all that crazy stuff like you did in Dead Space. And I like Dead Space. I
like Dead Space a lot.
I would
And-
like to be able to go ding, ding, ding when he said Dead Space 3.
And
Or
EA
4.
doesn't own Star Wars, so that's potentially could disappear as soon as that contract's done. So
Certainly.
then what are they left with?
Good question. Jacob Beats writes in, and I forgot about this. He says Dragon Quest VII was, I believe, announced to be shown off during Nintendo's E3 stream. That is true. They're showing off the 3DS
Are they
version.
really? All
Yep.
right.
Will this showing of the first mainstream Dragon Quest game released in English since 2009 be enough to bolster fresh enthusiasm for the series?
No.
No.
Not over here.
But I do think that if they are bringing Dragon Quest XI to the West, that there's a good chance we could see that on Sony's stage on the PS4.
Yeah,
I think it could happen.
sure.
Something I didn't realize until recently is that like a lot of people complain about Dragon Quest X not being brought over and stuff. And it turns out that a hang-up is the rights to Akira Toriyama's art, the Dragon Ball Z artist, because you have to like license that differently when you go international, and so it becomes much more expensive. But I never thought about that angle. So I hope that Toriyama's art, even though I love it, like that alone doesn't keep Dragon Quest XI from coming out, because I would like to play that on PS4. Anyways, we got Jalen Liu writing in and says, I predict that at this year's E3, Activision will announce that they're starting on Infinite Warfare from scratch. That they're rebooting it.
What does that mean?
Wait, after they just announced it?
Yes, I think that is safe to
That's-
assume there is 0% chance
I
that
think
that is
that sounds
happening.
insane, yeah.
But thank you for writing in, Jalen. You're the best. Sony, let's go for the big 3.
Okay.
Obviously, the rumors about them showing off new hardware, PlayStation Neo. Are we all 100% locked in that's going to be at the press conference?
Yes.
It's got to be some kind of thing. It's got to be connected to VR, right?
Well, I think the idea is that it's like
No.
baking in some of the guts just to make sure PSVR runs better and you don't need the breakout box then separately.
And it's also their new format, the UHD ultra high definition, which they have started releasing movies as of March, I believe.
Oh, okay.
So it'll be a player for that, but not game.
Yeah, you get that kind of like when the PS3 came out. It was like one of the first Blu-ray players anyone ever had. Now this will be like the first UHD player a lot of people have.
Are we all
For 4K TVs.
Are we all set on this being called PlayStation 4K? Is there any way they don't do that?
That would make a lot of sense.
It makes too much sense.
Xbox 720.
That's what they're PlayStation and X.
Yeah, I mean, they did Morpheus and Neo, which is weird, right? It's like total Matrix thing.
Yeah.
But they ended up calling that, they did the smart thing there and just called it PlayStation VR.
Right.
Right?
Remember
they
the
didn't do
PlayStation-
like a Vita.
Remember when PlayStation 4 was called Orbis?
Yeah.
And that was the big rumors that, PlayStation Orbis coming out.
Ugh.
And then it changed to Forbis, then they just cut out
And
the
that
rest.
Spider-Man controller thing for... was that PlayStation 3 or 4?
boomer.
That was three.
Three.
That was
Yeah.
three.
Speaking of Spider-Man.
Speaking of Spider-Man.
That's right.
Yeah, that's a rumor.
I mean, there is a rumor that there's going to be a new Spider-Man game developed for the PlayStation 4. Connections loosely to maybe Sucker Punch doing it. A couple of cryptic hints
I mean,
here and there.
Seemed pretty. The rumor seems strong to me.
Yes, it certainly seems like there's
Yeah,
some sort
it
of
seems-
Spider-Man on PS4 game.
Odd, but I mean, I'm actually pretty positive about it because I like that studio a lot.
And you're a real spider nut.
and
Well,
I'm a
Sony-
spider nut.
Sony has the rights to the movies, right? Still through 2017, I believe. Marvel is doing Homecoming.
Yeah.
That new Spider. They worked out a deal with Marvel and Sony to bring
Right.
Spider-Man to the cinematic universe, but
Yeah.
Sony still has the movie rights, I believe, so they can do like Venom and all that stuff. So
Yeah, it's confusing.
they could potentially do a different Spider-Man. The rumor is Spectacular Spider-Man.
Yeah, because
kinda
on
cool.
Sucker Punch, they are recruiting for people and they're working on a spectacular project. Spectacular. They keep throwing in that word. That's part of like that is the breadcrumb that we're going off of largely for like connecting this to Sucker Punch.
Yeah, because I mean, there's Spectacular Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man, Extraordinary Spider-Man. They keep saying Spectacular, which is very strange.
Disappointing Spider-Man.
It just seems weird because it seems like Disney doesn't care that much about licensing out to video games.
Really?
So,
there's Star
to
Wars.
console stuff.
He's talking
I meant
Avengers and
yeah, specifically for Marvel.
Okay.
It doesn't seem like they want to use that Marvel license in video games that much for some reason.
think, yeah,
other than on iOS, but
Where they make the money.
yeah, I guess.
that we know of. There was that canceled first-person Avengers game
Yeah.
Yeah.
that THQ was making, right?
Right.
That looked pretty cool.
From
I
the
thought.
Operation Genesis
Yeah.
team.
And it was also being handled in-house through Infinity.
Yeah,
Right,
Some degree.
exactly.
I guess
Let's not
there's
forget
that. That's true.
Yeah, there's that whole thing. But with that gone now,
Yeah, maybe
who
that
knows?
opens the door to more licensing deals.
Just give us another Ultimate Alliance.
So at the most, maybe a teaser trailer for a Spider-Man game, Sony. Rumors of Knack 2.
Yep.
I think that's likely.
Sure. I'll politely nod
don't
during
know.
that segment.
Why not?
That game seemed okay. What do we expect from Detroit Become Human? Do we expect a gameplay demo on stage? This is the new David Cage.
Maybe
Quantic Dream.
Detroit becomes something else.
That's what I was saying. The name should probably change.
I like the Michigan style, just like calling this game based on this one thing.
I like the first part, Detroit.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, just
then
call
when
it that.
it's become human, people are like, Beyond Human? It's like, no, that's Beyond Two Souls.
It's called Detroit Become Confused. God of War, are we all locked in? Is that going to be there?
Yep.
That sounds
Absolutely.
really strong.
It seems like a good showpiece. Like, here's your action
here's
sequence.
the last,
for
here's the
Sony
thing you
fans.
want to see.
The
Yeah.
director said it's in development. That was
Right.
2 PlayStation experiences ago.
Right.
And there's leaks of like linking it to Norse mythology.
God, I hope so.
Which
God,
is
I hope
so
so.
cool.
That would be really cool.
I mean, he killed everyone in Olympus, so
He
that'd be a
killed
boring
Mount
game.
Olympus itself. He chopped off its dumb head.
So then we can imagine, like, if you could put an advertisement on Wikipedia, you're going to want to advertise on the Norse mythology entry
Yeah.
and World War I entry because it's going to get a lot of traffic from gamers who want to sound like experts.
Looking through hardcore history.
We don't know a
for
whole lot about history
Nope.
or world wars.
Nope.
Don't get me started on the World Wars. Also, prediction out of the blue, Sony stage. Seems like Undertale and Stardew Valley are ripe for a console port. I could see that being on the Sony stage. Just like, oh, by the way, here's a couple beloved PC games finally making their way.
They both
can
make
see
sense
that.
for Sony.
Yeah, for
Especially
sure.
Undertale, I feel like. I don't know why.
Next, it's Underdog.
What about they seem to have fallen in love with the listening to the fans and giving into fans' dreams.
Sure.
With Final Fantasy VII Remake, Shenmue.
Last Guardian, they decided to
Yeah,
fund.
what is there anything left? Half-Life?
Yeah, Half-Life.
Yeah, there's always Half-Life.
Yeah, what are they going to come back up and resurrect now this year, you think?
Yeah, or just, like that long shot,
Kojima's
right.
career.
Hey, somebody
Kojima
could bring
could be
Kojima
there.
on the
Yeah,
stage just for a
Kojima could be there.
teaser. I mean, just to get his name out there.
Yep.
Might as well. I could see him just walking out and at least introducing some other game or something.
Maybe with Norman Reedus or something. Like, hey, he's going to be the star of this new game. And they don't show anything.
Wink, wink. Yeah, I think it could be very loose, but it'd be nice to get Kojima out
He's
there.
only been working for, 3 or 4 months now?
Right. So
So we're going to see, like, part of
almost done.
like No Man's Sky, demo, and then Sean Murray's going to shrug and sheepishly put on PlayStation VR goggles.
Yeah,
And then he says it's out now.
No way.
that's going to happen. It's
No
got to
way.
be in VR.
no way.
You don't think it's gonna be in VR?
I don't think it's going to be in VR.
That's why I
Really?
think it was delayed.
I agree.
Was to add that in.
Would you
Two
like to put
against
money
one.
on it?
$5.
All right, here, reach across the table.
Oh, the old
You
reach
big
over.
lug.
You guys
Come
should
on.
do like a lunch or
Can-
something.
can I be a
Why
conduit?
$5?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay. Wait, am I in on this now?
I think you are.
Boy, you
I think
are
it's
really
$10
cold,
for
by the
you
way.
now.
I know. All right, moving on to Microsoft. Hang on, let me write this down. $5 Cork. Collect it at E3. Okay, great. Microsoft. New hardware. We're going to see. The rumor is like a slim version of Xbox One.
That's one of them.
Okay. And then
supposedly, man, why would you announce that?
I
Why
don't
would you
think
show
they
that
would.
at E3?
I think that leak bit them in the ass, and they don't want to show it.
Scorpio.
Yeah, the next
That's supposed
more
to be like
upgradable
super
one.
powerful new machine.
So many flops.
You have
Yeah.
to plug it into the special weird outlet that your dryer goes into.
Gears of War 4 is probably going to be a big action sequence. That might be the big showstopper.
Or does that kick off the show?
That might kick off the show.
Yeah, they
'Cause they
started
usually do,
Halo
like,
4
Halo,
that way.
yeah.
Halo Wars 2, they might show gameplay. I know
That'll
it's
be-
tough to convey an RTS on
At
stage,
some
but
point in the,
That'll be sizzle reel, I bet.
yeah.
I think it's going to be cinematic
like
trailer.
a cinematic trailer.
They
yeah.
might
Like
actually
Blur
show
doing
it.
something badass.
Those cinematic trailers from the first one were really good, actually.
Yeah, just don't cut to an ant view of like the world.
Yeah, never show what it
Don't show
actually looks
the
like.
RTS gameplay on stage.
You sound like the stage director.
Yeah.
My prediction is Casey Hudson out there. Are there any other things? Recore, somebody mentioned in that email.
You already said did Rising 4.
Yep.
Teaser for the new Halo.
No way.
It feels
way
soon
too
for
early.
that.
Way
No,
too early.
I mean, they do this every time. It'll be the teaser, and then legit E3 showing, then release. So it's every other year. It's Gears, Halo, Gears,
Yeah.
Halo, right?
I don't know. I think with
That
Halo
was
Wars 2,
360.
do you think they're going to bring Spielberg on to talk about some, like the Halo TV show that is supposedly still coming? The other one, not the one they already released? No?
I think his video game version died. I think that Spielberg's gone.
Crackdown?
Oh, yeah.
I don't think that'll be there.
Come back? No?
Okay.
No, you don't think so?
Nintendo. Any talk of the NX? Any acknowledgement of the NX?
Didn't they say ahead of time, it's like, we're not bringing it?
Right. And some people are like, oh, they're lying. It'll be there. I just don't think it's
No.
going to be there. Always play conservative bets with Nintendo again and again and again,
So that system's coming out next March.
in theory.
That means, in theory, developers and publishers have been working with this hardware for a while.
Yeah.
They're all going to be in LA.
Right.
A lot of them are going to be drinking, partying, talking with each other. I think we're going to hear about NX.
Yep.
We're at least going to get some rumors wafting
Yep.
through.
I think you're going to see some of the biggest stories to come from the show are going to be NX stories.
I'm so excited.
And don't put it past Ubisoft either, who before the 360 and the Xbox One and PS4 were announced, they showed Watch Dogs.
And 1313 was also
And everybody
shown,
was
yeah.
just watching
So
that,
did
just
LucasArts.
going, this seems a little advanced for the new
high-end
machines.
PCs. High-end PCs, everybody. Hey, high-end PCs.
Didn't they
What's
reveal the Wii and the red steel cover
We
story?
did that. Yeah, but they showed people like Billy Berghammer, who worked for us at the time, saw like Paper Airplane demo, like throwing it with the Wii mode.
that? Oh, yeah. Okay.
Like there was like a pre-briefing on all that stuff.
right.
But now they said they're not showing it. They said they're not bringing it, right?
I don't think they're
I don't know.
doing
I remember the
anything.
wording, but I think all those other people working on it, all being in the same spot together, something's going to leak.
Yeah, because their job is to get their games like hype.
Right.
And you cannot do that if you can't talk about it. And it's like, well, do we keep Nintendo happy or do we like,
My money's on
train
those
going.
ukulele rookies over there. They're gonna start leaking about something.
Or you'll see a game that's like coming to Xbox One, PS4, PC, and other platforms. You'll be like, huh.
Right. God, I love hardware hype. It's so much fun.
Yeah, it is.
Zelda. I mean, they're gonna be showing a ton of it. I think
So
they're just gonna
excited.
live stream the entire game, from all I can tell. Yeah,
Seems
I'm
like
really
a
excited to
lot,
see that.
Yeah. Seems like more than you need to see of Zelda, honestly.
Well, that's
Like,
what the email's getting at. Yeah.
Nintendo just needs to say, like, hey, we're making a new Zelda, and this is when it's out. And
Are they
that's
gonna
all
name
they
it?
need to do.
Well, Reiner already named it. It was like Fire Princess or something.
I can't remember what I named it. Fire Princess sounds pretty
Fire
good.
Princess?
Is it weird of me to say I'm more excited for this Zelda than I have been any other Zelda except Ocarina of Time?
Why
And-
is that?
Because I think it's the first one that really breaks the mold again. Like they are going more, if it is traditional, like true open world.
And if
where
the
it was
art
like-
style can live up to those videos, man. Oh,
Yeah, like we had isometric, and then we had Ocarina, and then we went back, kept kind of hammering home that Ocarina formula, and then isometric again.
Right.
Now this is like, let's try something bigger in scope.
yeah. I'm super excited
I
about
feel
it.
like the Twilight Princess hype was pretty high.
Yeah, I mean, those. I mean, every time a Zelda comes out, it's
Well,
like,
yeah, I don't know.
can't
That
wait
one in
to play it,
particular
right?
seemed higher than usual. So, I mean, since then, at the very least,
but that feeling of
most hype since
maybe it's
then.
more the feeling not really knowing what to expect of
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Like when I saw Twilight Princess, I knew. When I saw Wind Waker, I knew. Right? Like it was like that's a traditional dungeon. That's a traditional open world. You know, waters. I get it. But this seems like it's a much bigger thing.
Do we want to make any predictions on female Link? Old Linkle being a character in there? There's always rumblings of, it's about time, Nintendo. Let's do it.
Yeah, she's got to be in there.
Think so? Gotta be.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean,
Okay.
why design that character and just have it in the Dynasty Warriors type of game? Hyrule
She had like a
Warriors.
crossbow and stuff.
I
Like,
know,
it's
but
not-
why?
I don't know.
Why just leave it there? I mean, it
seems like a weird place to debut that. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Pokemon Sun and Moon, they're going to be showing off more. They're going to see some more gameplay of that. Paper Mario Color Splash, which I'm excited for. It seems like a lot of people aren't talking about it, but I hope that it makes a,
Have they
a
announced
big
that they're showing that?
splash. Yeah, they're going to be streaming it.
all right, cool.
I think. I forget if it was in that stream thing, but by God, they need to.
Yeah, they should show it off.
For other E3 stuff. We should point out we are going to be posting a show next week. If everything goes according to plan, it'll be up on that Thursday night, regular time, recorded in our lovely hotel room. If you remember the audio being different last year,
Different.
expect that again. Get ready for a slowed down, slurry, drunk Jeff Cork to be on the mic again.
Again, I do not know what you're talking
I
about.
don't know.
Sleepy.
But yes, we will have a podcast next week talking about like top
Awesome.
5 coolest things that we saw at E3 and whatnot.
I just had a thought.
Yeah.
What if in that Zelda game, like Metal Gear Solid 2, they kill off Link within like the first half hour or something, and it's like Doctor Who, his essence goes into a new character, and then you play as what's their name, Linkle?
Linkle.
Jeez. What if that's the big?
There's
better
no
name.
way they would do that.
What if
He
you just
turned-
play as Zelda the whole time? Wouldn't that make more sense?
Well, that'd be cool. Yeah, I would rather play as Zelda, but they created this new character. I just got to think she's got to be in some.
I don't know. I think there's a 20% chance that it's a potential female playable character. That's where I'm putting it. Anything from Game Informer's coverage you want to point out, Reiner? Anything people should know?
We're going to be updating the website around the clock with all the breaking news, playing the demos. You know, definitely check out our press conferences. We're going to be doing live commentary to give you our thoughts on the reveals and announcements and all that stuff.
Twitch and YouTube.
Yep, and make sure you get there 15 minutes beforehand because we're going to have a little pregame chat and then go into the press conference, and you can watch along with us and kind of hear our thoughts as they go. And then, just all week long, just keep your eyes, keep checking into the website because there's going to be a steady feed of all of our writers, everyone, all hands on deck, writing stories about what they saw and the rumors and announcements and all that stuff.
Yeah. Hey, guys.
Hi.
E3 Hype Train.
Everybody ride the train.
I'm excited.
Come on and ride it.